This episode of Pucks Out Podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Action 24/7, Tennessee's only local legal sportsbook. Use code PUCKSOUT when you make your first deposit, and our friends over at Action will give you a 50% boost on your first deposit up to $800. That's right, up to $400 extra when you use code PUCKSOUT. And this week, as always, some amazing promos. Check us and Action out on Twitter and Instagram to be kept up to date throughout the week. Figure out how you can make some money. And did you know you can gamble with cash? Are you tired of waiting on your sportsbook? You won but can't get your money? No more waiting with Action 24/7. If you want to gamble with cash deposits and withdrawals, get started with Tennessee's local sportsbook today. Check out the link in the show description. Once again, use code PUCKSOUT, that's PUCKSOUT, when you make your first deposit, and Action 24/7 will give you a 50% boost on your first deposit up to $800. What are you waiting for?
From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hello.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold Mayday beer and let's get after it. As always, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer of Pucks Out Podcast. Join them every Tuesday for trivia night and Thursday for bingo night. And on August 20th, join them for hot chicken and jorts. We won't be able to make it, but we're going to be having a good time at my wife's birthday party. Yeah,
hot chicken and Jordan in spirit. Okay, so we will.
Yeah, what you drinking over there today, bud?
Because last time you took all the good ones. I love Angry Redhead, but I think I got a whole case full of Angry Redhead, and I like to mix it up. So
I got my Angry Redhead.
So not hating, just like I got to give all Mayday my love.
Not hating,
you know what I'm
appreciating.
saying? Appreciating all of them with all, so like it's like I have a bunch of children, okay, and I can't love one of these children more than the other. Now there's some that I don't like at all, you can stay inside, we're not gonna talk, we're not gonna say his name, okay. But no, you gotta give
Let's
some
just
equal
say,
love across the board.
We don't even give him a name. We just call him Bud.
Yeah. All right, hey, have a good one. No, we're not going to the zoo. You're fine. No, you're not missing anything.
Today we are talking all news and notes inside the NHL and out. We're talking House of the Dragon, talking a little bit about the Twitter sphere and a little bit of She-Hulk. But how are you this week, bud?
Doing good, man. Doing a bunch of moving, getting the getting the studs ready to rock as a more permanent location.
Nice.
Now the big question is the wall color. What am I going? I think we're either landing on a blue or a green. Not a bright.
I was going to say blue. I was going to say blue. That was
not a royal. Not like
an MTSU blue. Not a true blue.
Well, the thing is, Bobby, I ooze true blueness because, so I'm true blue. I don't need true blue, but yeah, no, I'm thinking that's the right call.
You got to go with the podcast blue, bro. You got to go with that dark.
Yeah, I'm thinking a little darker. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So, gonna have all the Matipasi, but maybe I was going, maybe I'm trying to match mine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying right there?
Yeah.
So, but no, kind of, excited to do that. Obviously, the moving process is not great. A lot of work to do on the house and whatnot. But doing okay. The addiction to Big Brother live feeds dying off a slight bit, not a whole lot. Just not a lot of drama this week. Come get your boy Daniel.
Yeah.
What's good with it? I mean, come on.
He's not my dude. I will say though. Okay, I don't like Daniel. But I do.
I'm going to leak. When you run for office, I'm leaking your texts, okay? Some people have like a bunch of racist stuff come out.
If that's the only text between, I mean, we've been texting for a long time. If that's the only text you reveal, I mean, there's a good bit of memes in our text.
That's the only one I need. That's the only one I need to reveal.
Yeah. The amount of times we said "fuck them kids" in our text, like
Oh,
it'd be to the point where it's like, yeah. But again, that was probably the slogan of the campaign.
If that's what gets me canceled, then hey, I'm all for it, because that is a philosophy that I'll stand by. Is it ageism? Yes, but it's a legal form of ageism. Okay, it's not me hating against older people. It's the youth. Okay, and so that's going pretty okay. But no, I'm just glad to be here recording. We got that. I'm sad we're missing hot chicken and jorts, but I'm very excited for our own little rendition at Meg's birthday. So so
we're actually, because we were going to have our margarita machine there, but there's going to be a good bit of people there. So instead, we're renting like a professional margarita machine that's like a 7-Eleven machine. So nobody else will have to work. It's just be there and ready for people. So it's going to be a lot easier. We're picking that up. It's like,
that's going to be real hard when I'm drinking PBR all day, buddy. Okay, it's hot chicken and jorts day. Okay, margarita. What y'all drinking that fancy stuff for?
We come over here pouring PBR in the margarita machine. PBR Ritas.
call this the redneck brew. And it had hot chicken, but not like flavoring, just like actual pieces of hot chicken. And just
it's getting like twisted in, and like it's like how'd you break the machine, and why are there 30 chicken thighs in here?
Because we haven't put all 60 of them in yet, bud. Chill. Calm down.
I was calling you because why didn't it fit more? But all right, let's
bro.
Yeah. I've been working, dude. Exhausted today. Just a straight up regular button up. Got the podcast hat on.
Just
nothing
keeping
special.
Just keeping it. You know what I've heard? I've heard that women enjoy the just plain stuff more. I've never been that guy, but and neither are you really, but like that's just what I hear on through the grapevine, that like like a plain t-shirt or something, but it's lame. I got the Nashville Sounds hat, but I went with the old school, bro.
Yeah, nice.
Gotta go with the Greer Stadium version. And then, the Columbia, the fishing lure shirt. This is it's actually my grandfather's shirt, and I get more compliments on this thing. Like I buy so many shirts and jerseys and the old shirt that's about like years old, 10, 20 years old or something at this point, and it's, hey, keeps me getting the compliments. I'll take it. So,
yeah. But, we were talking about Big Brother a little bit ago. I was watching some live feeds the other day after the last episode. I think we turned on live feeds. As much as Daniel's annoying as fuck, I did like his move after in the new episode where he just calls out Monty. He just thought it's like, he's just like, like calling him out, manipulating because he knows he's leaving. I was like, all right, that was a pretty baller fucking move. Like he's being a little bitch and whining a lot. He's complaining a lot and whining. But I like that he's kind of like putting him on the spot.
No,
I think that made Michael kind of be a little shaky. I think on Monty.
The episode shows you about 15, about 5 seconds of the encounter. He was sulking and being a pretty big baby for about 15 minutes.
Like I said, he looked like he was being a big baby, but that little bit when he actually
everybody is sick of his shit.
Oh,
so nobody.
He's next. He's next.
Yeah, that's Michael's a strong player. Monty's a strong player. This is stuff that both of these guys are already looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like Michael's like, Monty is a strong player. He's not Daniel. So
I really wish there's someone. I really wish someone
that
drama,
bro. I want the drama. Yeah. So I'm
when he said that dumb shit about like, you all can't take home $750. Only one person. I wish one of them had been like, I'm sorry, what? Repeat that. I thought we could all shit. Like all these people know that, bro. Like this is how big. Like all those people alliances work in Big Brother.
all those people know that. And it's funny that he's the one to say this because there's only been one person in the entire season that has suggested that or even brought it up as a possibility.
Paloma.
Yeah, Paloma. It brings it up in front of Michael, and Michael's like, no, like you can't do it.
I watched that. I watched it on YouTube. Everyone was like, you need to. I think Terrence was like, whatever you're about to say, whatever you think you're about to
No,
say,
it was definitely
don't
not.
say.
No, it was Michael. It was
Michael,
definitely
okay.
not, or it was Monty. One of the two.
It was Monty. I remember.
I can assure you that Terrence is not out there giving legal advice. That was week one. Terrence would the people in the live feeds were saying he would wake up at about 8 a.m. go eat some breakfast, and then go back and lay down. Terrence didn't learn how the veto worked until like a couple of weeks ago. Okay.
I still think they should have not a loser's Big Brother, but like an all-star with like guys like Terrence, guys like
Old people.
Meta World Peace.
Old people.
Like guys who like people who really don't know how it works.
They don't get the game. They don't get the game. Stephanie sent me the other day a video that lives in your mind. It was like a TikTok, and it was like this girl's like, show a video that lives in your mind rent free. And it's the video of Meta World Peace voting out his ally.
Because I know I would be one of those people, because every week I've been watching the show now for a couple of years. I always forget about the fucking, so like, for example, like when they put someone up for eviction, I'm like, shit, that's my guy. And then Megan's like, because they're trying to back, I'm like, oh, I forget that they can that there's a veto power. I forget about veto power every single week. I forget about that veto exists.
It turns out that is quite all right for a person sitting at home on their couch with access to a phone. But if you went through the long and strenuous process of going to Big Brother, you're gonna at least learn a little bit about it, right? Like, just like watch a couple seasons. Like, and Daniel says he's a super fan. He's watched YouTube compilations because like people ask him questions or talk to him about. He doesn't know. He just knows players' names and stuff, little buzzwords. But no, this season has been great so far. I'm really enjoying it.
Your boy's killing it so far on fantasy, Big Brother.
Yeah,
I just gotta hope it stays that way.
I am not going to do well in that league. We actually, with another friend, just drafted a couple of leagues. So we know who's doing well and stuff. Have I told you about the Joseph 25 thing though? Have I let you in on Joseph 25? So, Joseph in the beginning, pretty boring, like lay in the background, like seemingly dumb, even though we're like, dude, he's like, people are like, he's just past the bar. He's not practicing yet. But he's a lawyer. And people are like, man,
that was Joseph, Pooch's butt buddy, right? That's who that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
If Joseph was your defense attorney, you're definitely going to jail, like all this stuff. Well, his birthday happened in the house, and that was the night, like at midnight, when on his 25th birthday, he starts help him and Kyle like get together and like they create the leftovers, and he's being super, nice to Taylor, and he's gaming people and strategy and all this stuff. And so the joke is that Joseph 24 wasn't about shit, dude. Okay. He was garbage. He was nothing. He's nothing. Okay. He's not about that life. Joseph 25 though. Okay. But when you're writing about it on like the subreddit or something, you got to put the 25 in parentheses, beside it. So, you're not talking about the Pikachu. You're talking about the Raichu. All right. We're talking about the evolved version of Joseph. And so everything has become bracketed beside people's name, like Terrence, like people will do. We've been doing the little rat symbol, like the little rat emoji, and then in parentheses world, because he's Juice WRLD's cousin, so like Rat World. And so it was Nicole 41 or Nicole, Nicole off-brand Bruno Mars, or Nicole Sideshow Bob, and Nicole Sideshow Bob. So everybody's kind of got one. And Kyle started to suck in August, and so everybody was saying Kyle July was boss, but Kyle August is garbage. So it's Joseph 25 is an evolution of the previously poor player in Joseph 24.
But all right, that's enough of Big Brother for today. Let's hop into some news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
All right, Jacob Trouba named captain of the Rangers. Fun fact, the only team to win the Stanley Cup without a captain were the 1970-1972 Bruins. That is a fun.
That is fun. Oh,
Yeah.
that is fun. I just saw it right below the Jacob Trouba news. So I was like, oh, just throw that right in there. Yeah, I mean, Panarin put out a funny video like, oh, Jacob, my man, like, congratulations. I think I'd still be better. Ha ha ha. It was very Russian, but I'm not even trying to be about that life right now. So,
Yeah.
I think it's a good move for the Rangers. I think that's a guy that has been around the block a while. Been on some good teams. I think that's a good move for the Rangers. A team that is only getting better, and their players are only getting a little bit older and a little bit more experienced. So a guy like that can kind of hold it down. So
I like that a lot.
That's funny that it's the only team without captains to win. Do we know how frequent it is for a team to not have a captain? I'm sure we've talked about that, but I mean, is that a normal thing? It's just I've never really thought about it. It seems like it wouldn't be, right? I mean,
Vegas didn't have a captain for 2 or 3 years.
Okay, so it's not crazy, unheard of or anything. It's just I've not been paying attention to that kind of thing.
Yeah, that would have to be. I mean,
because it was like Shea Weber. Well, I mean, it's funny because Shea Weber left, and it was, Mike Fisher left, and it was like immediate, like the next season that Yossi was the captain, like it was established, like we had to have one or something. So I mean,
I'm looking at this is an article from 2018, so it is not up to date. But
close enough.
During the 2018 season, there were 6 NHL teams during the regular season that did not have captains: Detroit, Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver, Vegas, and the Rangers.
Okay, so it's not like a crazy thing for this to happen.
Yeah,
that was just.
I would assume that I would assume that if your team doesn't have a captain, it's because you were in the middle of a rebuild, and I think
Maybe
Vegas
so.
is an outlier to go to a Stanley Cup without a captain. I think that most of the time, if you don't have a captain, you're going to be in like an Ottawa, Detroit situation where you're rebuilding and you have some young guys, and you're still trying to your team is still trying to figure out who's in place.
That definitely makes the most sense. I mean, it was more of not that it was a requirement, but that it was like one of those things that you just definitely do. So that's very interesting to kind of realize. Maybe I haven't been paying that much attention.
Yeah. And I do want to apologize to all the listeners. It is storming really bad outside, and the wife is at work right now, not here, so she can't let the dog out. So the dog is barking throughout the show.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize to them. They disgust me. They're probably cat people, Bobby, if they're upset about it. All
right. Easiest $2.5 million of the season. Patrice Bergeron earns his bonus if he plays 10 games and he has a no movement clause in place. I mean,
I'm guessing he's going to hit that 10 games. You want to make a water bet on it?
Yeah.
You want a water bet? I bet he makes it.
No.
Okay,
I bet he doesn't. This has to be because of cap reasons, because I don't think bonuses are part of the cap, and that he, in order part of the negotiation, was like, we want to give you another $2 million, but we can't afford it in the cap, so we're just going to give it to you in an easy bonus.
Yeah, maybe I didn't look into the contract implications and stuff like that. I think that we can all agree that if it was 70 games for him to hit that bonus, that he'd probably get it. So I don't think that Boston has to worry about him Albert Hainsworthing anybody and kind of laying down on the job at game 11. So if you're gonna have to give somebody $2.5 million for playing 10 games, it's the guy that I would definitely give that $2.5 million to. So
tell you what though, 2 weeks into the season, I might be trying to in fantasy be trying to buy Bergeron cheap. Maybe like, hey, he's going to start sandbagging it now. It's 10 games in.
I'm telling you, we're sitting at game 8, buddy. You only got a little bit of time to get out of this. Okay. Just start sending them clips of Albert Hainsworth when he was on the Titans, and then when he was on the Redskins. Like, look, this could be you, buddy. You're going
Commanders.
Jamarcus Russell at LSU, and then this could be you. I don't want to see this happen to you, bud. You're new to the league, all right?
Yeah.
I just said Redskins. I meant the Commanders. Obviously, I meant the football team is actually what I meant. But
yes, that's the team I recognize.
Hey! As long as
I don't know a team named the Commanders. I know the football team.
Right. And see, the problem is, if somebody decides to jump down one of our throats for making a simple mistake of something that we spent 30 years of our life doing, like we're correct. We're correct. I'm correcting myself. So hopefully that's all we want, right? We just want folks to recognize that that's no longer the name of the team. So the football team, the Commanders, whatever you decide to call that DC football team, they got gypped. Okay, they got gypped when it came to Albert. Okay, we gotcha. Okay.
All right. Nathan McKinnon seeking to be the NHL's highest paid player. Once again, you're worth what you'll get paid. I mean, frankly, does not affect me in the bit if he is the highest paid player or if he's not.
Right.
So, I mean, more power to him. Make that money, dude.
More power to him. I more put this in there to almost discuss it. Like, what's the mindset? I mean, obviously, he's great and he wants to be the highest paid player. I mean, being the highest paid player generally means that there's not as many great players around you, right? I mean, there's a lot less money to go around. I mean, maybe
that's not really the case in that Colorado team.
That's true, but I mean, if it will be if he becomes the highest paid player in the NHL, that's kind of the thought process. I guess if you win a cup, you can kind of start demanding a little bit more of what you want. So
I don't know what his contract is currently.
He underpaid, whatever it is. I'm not looking at it right off the bat, but he's underpaid. I don't want to say that, but
all right, let's jump into outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
Vin Scully, unfortunately, passes away at the age of 94. The all-time great Brooklyn and Los Angeles Dodgers play-by-play announcer. Legendary career. Absolutely, just amazing at his job. Thoughts to his loved ones and all of his fans.
Longest broadcaster for any one team in the history. I know baseball. I don't know if that includes other sports. I would imagine it does. Just a staple. I mean, he didn't retire until 2016. I mean, the amount of generations of baseball fans that got to watch one of the greats call a game, or even if you don't really watch baseball, you've heard his calls on Sports Center, or just watching a call. I mean, a sad thing for sports history. I mean, got to do what he loved until age 88, died at 94. I think that he probably did all that he wanted to in baseball. Got to call a World Series. It's like we're saying, it's sad to see, but it's one of the greats. So sad month, but Vin Scully, you're one of the good things about baseball. There's not many.
For sure.
So
Serena Williams announces retirement from tennis. Hey, that's a trailblazer, absolute legend of the game. Not that I watched much tennis, but
none. I watched literally zero. But it would be like us watching Wayne Gretzky retire and not say anything about it. I mean, it's 23 Grand Slams, 73 total single titles. I mean, and just what she we didn't watch tennis, right? But we always knew when Serena Williams was playing tennis because it was in the news, because she played a phenomenal game, a phenomenal game. So, have you seen the movie? I
have not. My wife and my mom has saw it. I haven't seen it yet.
I was planning on watching it, and then I was scared that Will Smith's character was going to hit the kids, so I just didn't watch it at that point. That was good, huh? No, I've King Richard. That's what it is. So I'm interested to watch it as well. Just like kind of off the look of it. You know what it reminds me of? I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on the podcast, or why they were allowed to say it on TV, but you ever watch any of those Disney Channel movies? You remember the one with the two twins that played volleyball,
Sister?
and then They played volleyball, and then they came to play basketball.
No.
I mean, okay, so the movie's called Double Teamed. I don't know if you want to Google that. If you do Google it, definitely put Disney movie on there as well, or you're going to mess up your search algorithm. It was an interesting choice, but essentially twins played volleyball. They're real tall. They go play basketball. It's based off a true story. So it just kind of what it reminded me of, like the dad's like pushing them to play volleyball, and basketball is this side thing. But one of them actually went to the WNBA, played in real life. So
Cool. That's dope.
yeah, I mean, so it reminded me a little bit of that, but like I would imagine that Will Smith's production quality a bit higher than the Disney Channel movie from years ago. So, and the story obviously is with some more well-known individuals. So
Yeah.
I've been thinking about watching it.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch facing multiple charges after DUI arrest in Las Vegas. This is his second arrest for DUI after his 2012 arrest, which was pleaded down to reckless driving. Hey, don't drink and drive. And let's, listen, we love Marshawn Lynch here, but don't drink and drive. Hopefully he didn't. Hopefully this was a misunderstanding, but we'll see what happens.
Hopefully, thank you, Bobby out here trying to not let us not get sued, dude. Mr. Lynch, we said that we were not sure about it.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly, Marshawn Lynch did. I just cannot, like, you got so much money. I mean, you know what I've talked about. If I ever got a boatload of money, driver. That's the only that's the only option for me, getting a driver.
First off, I hate driving in general. I would just have a driver all the time.
I'm telling you, like, I'm finding a friend that doesn't drink, and like, we're just going to kick it all the time and be like, hey, I really want to go spend a bunch of money at Taco Bell because I've been drinking all day. Are you good? He's like, yeah, because I don't drink. And I'll be like, that's awesome. I can't believe you're on my payroll. You know, I just don't, it just doesn't compute.
Like, this is tax deductible? Wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lawsuit against the PGA, Mickelson, DeChambeau, Poultier, among 11 LIV players, a part of
Poulter.
The suit.
Poulter? I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it's Poulter.
Well, after DeChambeau, I wanted to, so I tried to add a little bit of twist on it.
Well, if you would have said Poultier, then you would have been good. You would have been fine. You would have been wee.
So it's Mickelson, DeChambeau,
and Poultier.
Or it's Mickelson, DeChambeau, and Poultier.
DeChambeau.
I guess they're suing for having the membership taken away.
Yeah. I mean, that I didn't look into the story. I just saw and I just assumed. So I'm guessing that would be. That's just so crazy to me. Like, how can you take away member? You know, like that's.
I mean, is it technically a private club? I don't know what the PGA.
No, I mean
they
definitely can, but I would imagine there's a lot more contract implications than you're at the local country club. You know what I'm saying? Like this is their livelihood. Sure. And I mean, they don't work for the PGA. They're not like NBA players that are employees of the teams of the NBA. It's like my understanding is like they're independent contractors that go and sign up for a tournament. Yeah. And if I don't want to join this tournament, I don't have to, because that's between me and my sponsor. You know, that's what I'm not getting. It's almost like they are the owner of the team because they are the team. And
yeah.
I just don't understand why seeing more players in more places doesn't make your sport better. If somebody watched LIV golf and really loved what DeChambeau did, then they're more likely to come over and watch your sport, right? Like people that watch PGA golf and go to events and spend money on that kind of stuff, they don't lose that interest because somebody else is golfing in a different tournament. So I guess I just don't understand that.
I don't know. The whole thing's a fucking mess. I've actually like stopped paying attention to the whole LIV PGA thing because it's just like every day there's another name, and it's like I know that LIV like offered Tiger Woods like an
800 million, dude. 800 million.
And he was probably like, have you seen me recently? I'm not golfing anymore, man. Like
it's money because It's from like the Saudi investment fund,
Yeah.
and so they don't need it to turn a profit right now. It's like for a long term outside the kingdom investment fund, and so like it's super super long term. Like this thing, it's like a $10 billion like fund. Like it's not.
Yeah.
They have so much money to spread that like $800 million. Like, dude, people would tune in and watch it because Tiger's
Yeah.
there. Whether he's because some people still hate Tiger to this day, and if they can tune in and watch him do poorly, that's just as good as tuning in.
Well, what
and
I read
watching
is he
him do
wasn't
well.
even going to be golfing. They were offering him a commentator position, not even a golfing
Oh, I
position,
didn't. Yeah.
which is like that amount of money is insane. For just like at this point, it's like, this is money laundering, right? Like,
Well, they don't have to launder the money. I mean, it's their money. I mean, it's the
Sure,
kingdom's
yeah.
money. Yeah. I mean, what are we
Yeah.
laundering? Like, we got this illegally and we're going to spend it. You want it? People are like,
yeah.
yeah, yes. Obviously, I want the 800 mil. No problem. It's like there's more where that came from.
Yeah. I assume there was a lot of investors from like the US and stuff as well. I assume that
There are
that's what I
some
figured.
investors. There are some investors, but it's mostly this mega
Yeah.
Saudi slush fund. I'm sure they have sponsors like for the events and stuff that are bringing in a little money. But the expectation is early on that they will lose money, but they can do it. It's one of the advantages. It's like certain businesses you can't really bust into. Just
Yeah.
like the airline business. Like we could get into a lot of businesses, Bobby, but we could probably not raise the capital to get in the airline business. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, and so that's
which is wild. I mean, if
usually
Spirit can do it, I feel like anybody can do it.
well, we could start gathering up some planes, getting some people together. Okay, we can talk about it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's a lofty goal. So, getting into professional sports like this, the big thing is are you willing to lose money at first? It's why none of these other football leagues are able to last long, is because you got to be able to lose money to build a product, and that is what this particular fund is able to do. And I think that's why the PGA hates it so much, is that they can lose money and not worry about it.
But, all right, main topic of the day coming out very here soon. I think within the next 2 weeks.
21st of August.
21st of August. We're going to be a little bit hungover from hot chicken and our Jorts party, but House of the Dragon comes out as the prequel to the critically acclaimed first 7 seasons Game of Thrones, and
prequel
the acclaimed 8th season.
The acclaimed, yeah. The 8th season of Game of Thrones was a season of television that was on TV. That is accurate. There were actors that were acting in the
they really acted the acting.
They were there and they got paychecks and and so you said prequel, and I think and for some folks they're gonna know what you mean.
Yeah.
Other folks are not going to know what you mean.
It's earlier in the timeline of history.
Yes, it is. It is the Targaryen story. Is what it is. So, it is pre-Blackfire Rebellion, I believe.
I think
believe
so.
Yes. Yeah, because it's the War of the Dragons. I think is the time frame that is located. So. So it's 300, roughly 300 years before the events that we see take place. So yes, a prequel, but it is not like just leading up to.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when they put 30 seasons in eventually, and it will eventually lead up into it. Honestly, I would be okay with that. If we got to see Robert's Rebellion and I get to see Robert Baratheon,
gods are strong.
Put a hammer into Rhaegar Targaryen's chest and see the jewels fly. I may think about forgiving them for the 8th season. I may think about it.
But yeah, I mean, I know you're not as excited. I'm excited because listen, we're nerds. We like nerd shit. I'm gonna watch it. I know you kind of said you might not watch it as it comes out. I might miss a couple and catch up as it goes. But I'm excited to see where it goes. And frankly, I didn't hate the 8th season as much as everyone else. So I'm not as soured on Game of Thrones as a lot of other people. So, and I love the Targaryens, not as much as I love the Baratheons, but the Targaryens are fun. I mean, listen, get to see some fucking dragons, bro. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, if this is I'm just more soured on it because I'm worried. Even if it's great early on, is it going to turn into another money grab that leaves me disappointed in the end? You didn't hate it as much as everybody else. I didn't absolutely hate it as much as some. It was more, and I think we've talked about this. This was not a production value. Everything that they showed us was good. This was we've been waiting for this culmination of this story for so long as book readers and as fans of George R. Martin, and they phoned it in. I'm super excited about House of Dragon, but nervously so. Like I am not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna get hung up on it. Like you said, I'm gonna watch it at the end when I can just binge all 10 of them. I don't have to wait week to week. I don't get sucked in. I don't know. I really hope they do it well. There's obviously the complaints from the toxic side of the fandom and really all nerd culture in general.
Yeah,
is that the Valeris Colarian I'm sorry, Valerian, Corlys Valerian, being black, and they're like the cousins of the Targaryens, and they're the blonde hair and the purple eyes, similar to them. But I mean, I don't care about that as much as like I do if the story flows well. Like you can sell it. Like I don't really care about that portion as much as I do. Like, are they going to stick to the storyline rather than I don't care if they look like they say they look in the book House of Fire.
Yeah. No, I think I'm super excited. I don't think I'm as excited for it as I am the Rings of Power.
Yeah,
but
not at all. And I think that's also portion of me that's like pushing back on this, that I'm so excited for Rings of Power.
For sure. But all right, so we'll talk Rings of Power a little bit next time. Let's move in to Joke of the Week.
The Weird. Corey Perry. See, I don't like that. Wild.
I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it.
Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the Joke of the Week.
You found this one. This is absolutely amazing.
Okay. We get up to the headline because I was running through it. The Twitter's we all know the saga of Elon Musk buying Twitter, mostly because he wanted attention, is what it seems like. I don't know exactly what it was. Mostly attention is what it's looking like.
But he's a fucking
But he's
psycho.
trying to back out because he didn't do some due diligence, and from what I'm seeing, the penalty to back out of this thing is like 4 or 5 million. I'm sorry, 4 or 5 million, 4 or 5 billion. So he ran a bot analysis on it, and this is his excuse trying to get out. Twitter says Musk's spam analysis.
It was $44 billion, by the way.
Was the total, but to back out of the deal,
Yeah.
he would. The penalty is like 4 or 5 bill.
Something like that. Yeah.
Twitter says Musk's spam analysis used tool that called his own account a bot. So the information that he's using to say that, oh, I can't buy this, they've misrepresented things, is actually saying that he is not human, which honestly, I potentially believe that narrative more so than Twitter coming back at him. I mean, is he a bot? Yeah. Someone find Mark Zuckerberg's Twitter and tell me if it said he was a bot, because that would also be very interesting. Let's see.
The
There's
next day, he was upgraded to human like.
After human like, after he changed it up. I mean, the Twitter is obviously suing him. It's a 127-page filing, so we obviously haven't done the reading of it. We're going to do that. We're going to do that tonight. I thought that's why we didn't make it the main topic. We're not going to talk about
who doesn't
all
love
the
homework?
fucking legal niceties. Yeah, exactly. Just imagine being. You're just too rich for your own good at that point. Like, you're just playing around with buying companies. You're making tools that just think that you're a robot. Like, I mean, what is even the point? No reference to spam in the merger deal.
Also, it's not his bot. This is just a public website that people can use, and that's what
even better. Okay, yeah. I'm just reading the headline. I'm not really getting into the nitty gritty, because it's, I don't want to spend too much of my time reading about Elon Musk for fear that he is gonna take me to a diamond mine and make me mine them if we talk too long about it. So fine with talking about China. We got bad things to say there. If we got bad things to say about Russia, no problem. But I fear that Elon Musk is petty enough to seek us out. So let's just move on from this joke of the week. But what a joke. That whole thing is an absolute joke. I'm just embarrassed Ugh.
But all right, let's move into our pop culture. We're talking the She-Hulk trailer. I thought I hadn't seen it, but I actually, looking at it, I think I have seen it. A lot of people are, again, not super excited about this. I think this is going to be a fun show.
Bobby, it's a girl, okay? Nobody's going to be excited on the internet because it's a girl. I'm also super excited. Mark Ruffalo going to get a little bit in there. Look, man, we've been very clear. It ain't about girl. It ain't about guy. It ain't about black. It ain't about white, Asian, whatever you throw in there, Latino, Pakistani, as we've had. Make a good show, and Bobby and Brandon will enjoy it. That's it. That's all. Or a movie. That's all we need. And so I'm really excited. It looks like it's going to be really good. Ready to see a little bit of that saga.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been saying, like, they're not happy with the way the Hulk has changed, and that I think that Hulk has been, like, I don't know, wokenized or some bullshit, that he's now Professor Hulk. And it's like, do these people not understand how character development works?
No.
It wasn't good when he was a mindless, raging monster.
Right.
Like,
and see what they don't realize, like, everybody wants more Hulk, right? But you can't just put Hulk in a TV show because that's Mark Ruffalo. Okay. You got to have you're just getting Mark Ruffalo. If we can have Rufa Hulk, okay, then we get the best of both, where we get the Hulk, we get Mark Ruffalo, and we don't have to worry about, okay, well, we get these 3 minutes of this whole episode of where we get to see the Hulk and he destroys a city and then he's back to Mark Ruffalo again. This is a really good rendition, and it's not even, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not even like it's outside of any type of canon that we've seen before, right? Like, this is a version of the Hulk that has been prevalent in the comics.
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
a lot.
So we're not. So it's not like they're just doing this to make more money and they can have a green guy on screen. Like, these are things that, like, it's the multiverse, people.
Yeah.
Like, it's the multiverse.
And here's the thing. The actual, like, we could still see Maestro. We could still see old Hulk, who's just a monster. Like, that's the whole point. Not to mention Tim Roth is in this. Tim Roth is amazing.
And the thing is, it would be even crazier. It would be even crazier if not even a year ago we didn't just have No Way Home, where they literally brought in different actors from a different company completely into this movie franchise. Like, what are you worried about? It's just, I mean, I know what they're worried about. They're worried about not complaining. start a podcast, buddy. Complain on there. All right.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. I do wonder if we'll see Edward Norton maybe at some point in the MCU.
I'm hoping so. You know who I'm hoping to see in She-Hulk, and I don't know if it'll happen because, again, I don't know geographically where they're located, but I'm hoping to get a little Charlie Cox, dude, some Daredevil.
He's on the cast.
Is he?
He's in the cast for the new She-Hulk. And
Tim
Tim Roth played Abomination in the Edward Norton Hulk. So they're bringing he's from that universe.
Okay. Well, so we know that Daredevil is in the universe now. So that's not in question, which means that, Kingpin, we've obviously seen Kingpin.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big part.
As long as they don't bring Iron Fist. I'm cool with everyone. Just let's leave Iron Fist where he is right now.
I'm Danny Rand. I'm the protector of Kunlun.
It would be funny if they make everything canon, but they're like, "Who's Iron Fist?" I'm sorry, there's no Iron Fist. No, that never happened.
That was a dream. It was a twofold thing. I just don't think he was the right actor for it. But also that writing in Iron Fist was horrible. He was much better in the Defenders. But no, I'm with you. I mean, it was bad. I am going to need to see my girl, Kristen Ritter, though. I'm going to need to see some Jessica Jones because
we see them girl. And they're like, yes, the three of us are back together. It's always just been the three of us, never
the
four.
Defenders.
All three of the Defenders.
Of Kunlun.
They give us a thing where it's just three Iron Fists.
It's just they have their own individual powers, but they all have an Iron Fist as well. They're protectors of Kunlun now.
But all right, let's move into what's snapping your stick.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
All right, why don't you start us off today, my dude?
Yeah, man. So obviously I'm a captions man. Okay. Some people are not caption folk. I have a theory about those folks that hate captions. I personally think that they can't read that well. Okay. That's just a me. I think Megan's a no captions like her, right? She's not a fan of captions.
Oh, she needs captions. She loves captions.
She needs them. Perfect. Okay. I mean, not that I'm worried about who I'm making fun of, but I need to know who I'm making fun of. But I mean, I just think that they're better. If I miss something, I don't have to rewind to go hear it again. I'll just read it, well, the Big Brother live feeds, obviously they don't have captions for the live, I mean, that would be ridiculous to have somebody, but Google has a setting that you can do live captions of things you're listening to. And I had zero clue. I had no idea. I've sought this out. I've turned it on, and it's awesome. It actually does a pretty good job. It's not like fantastic. It's not like a company doing it or something, but it does a pretty decent job. And it does it even when it's muted, so you don't have. It doesn't actually have.
I like that a lot.
It doesn't actually have to hear it. Now, it doesn't do everything. Like it wouldn't do it. I don't think if we're talking like on this type of thing, I think it has to be like loaded in. But then again, I haven't tried it with I mean, it'll just pop up and you can just close it out or skip it if you don't want the captions for it. But generally, if you pull up a new website, it will allow you to do it. So not knowing that was available is what snaps my stick. So, I mean, I guess I could have just Googled all the nice, fun Google tips, but I'm not going to do that because then I won't be able to complain when I find out a new one.
Yeah. Usually I'm the kind of person I can always complain about something. I got nothing this week, man.
Yeah.
I searched. I was searching my brain. Nothing.
The problem is, I think the problem is, and I have this problem sometimes too, and I'll eventually think of something. A lot of times we'll build off the other one. But the problem is now we have a whole platform to complain all the time. And so like, we don't just have complaints that we want to voice to people anymore because we just voice them throughout the hour that we've been chatting and voicing our complaints because that's a good thing though, I still complain the same amount. Still complain the same amount outside of here, but it's nice to feel like I'm heard. I know my boy Keith and Sam, our two Australian listeners. I know that they're in agreement. Okay.
Yeah. But all right, guys. For Brandon Bond, I'm Bobby Butler. This has been Pucks Out Podcast. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.